Hello, it is Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, USA. I'm Mitch Miller. This is my video journal. Little update, the TCL Roku smart television I have. It looks like it's a backlight issue, possibly. So I have to take it to a repair shop. I did call TCL yesterday, walk through some steps, and it was not able to be fixed over the phone. So I'm going to have to take it in for repair at some point. Which is fine because I'm trying to get Hillary to cancel her two streaming options at Netflix and Hulu at the very least. She's going to keep Amazon, obviously, because she orders stuff from Amazon all the time. I tried to make a deal with her last night that I would buy Zelda's cat food today, which is very expensive. She's on a special food. In exchange for her to cancel those streaming services in solidarity with SAG and WGA. She didn't really agree to it, but we'll see what happens if I get it. I said on my Twitter post that I don't pay for green screen garbage. I've never paid for a streaming service. This is pretty much true. I guess I didn't realize till I looked at my email this morning. I do have a subscription to HBO Max that came free when I signed up for my Cricket wireless account. So I pay for my wireless plan. I don't pay for the Max. It comes free with it. When she cancels her streaming accounts, I will cancel the HBO Max account in solidarity with WGA and SAG. Even if she doesn't, I probably will. Number one, I never use it, and number two, it sends a message to the slave masters, right? The green screen, garbage producing slave masters that call it entertainment. So that's that update. So today I want to talk about my Samsung Galaxy notebook. So you can see it here. Has a little magnetic screen, tablet type thing for it. I'm talking about this. I bring this up because Hillary found her charger for her old Amazon Kindle. It's a very old Amazon Kindle, one of the first few that were made. She decided to charge that up because there was a book on her old Kindle having to do with the murder in Long Island that they just caught recently. And so she wanted to go back and read that book. So we did figure out how to get it charged up. It's on the network, not really. It's not connected to this Wi-Fi to our knowledge. Another new addition to the Wi-Fi is the new GE air conditioner, which she downloaded the app so that we can remotely turn it on for our cat when we're away and run it all during the day for her to cool down. Anyhow, she plugged in this Kindle, and I thought, well, if the battery works after all this time of being down, why does this not work, right? Because I bought this. I ditched one tablet that her parents got as part of their wireless plan, and they gave to me for free and said they'd pay for the wireless plan on it as part of their plan for a year, and then I'd have to take it over. I used it for my business for several months. Then I fled the country. I used it to book my plane ticket, and I took it with me to Europe, and then I left it at a hostel in Berlin. Left it on top of a wardrobe in a hostel in Berlin where nobody could really see it. Then I proceeded to buy this in a Berlin electronics store, and I'll talk more about Europe, but basically I used it. Well, we'll talk about it now, I guess. I used it to when I bought the piece of equipment in Germany. I thought I was going to stay in Berlin in Germany. because of things I found at a Hilton hotel, caused me to want to leave Germany because of very interesting things I saw in the top of a Hilton hotel. So I bought a train ticket to Copenhagen, and I went to Copenhagen. I didn't really use this tablet too much until after living on the streets in Copenhagen for a week or two. I was wired enough money by Joel Smalley, by Mike Heffernan, to buy a train ticket to Aalborg. My friend Bill Earl, my tattoo artist friend and musician friend that I partnered up with, his ex-wife was from Finland, and he has toured through Europe. He knew of Tusenfrue, the anarchist punk enclave in Aalborg, so he recommended going there to Aalborg, so that's where I bought a train ticket to and went to Aalborg. At Tusenfrue, they were able to help me with a homeless shelter. There were no shelters available to me in Copenhagen. Most European capitals, I think, shy away from housing the homeless. They want to keep them off the streets there, and they do it to they encourage homeless to go to secondary cities. Anyhow, when I was on the streets there, well, number one, I recorded a few videos, and then I recorded interview with a pharmaceutical executive on this. And then something clicked, and I said, I'm just going to start doing this Masonic storyteller thing, telling stories about the architecture that I see mixed in with personal things that were happening with me, and philosophy and ethics lessons and things like that. So that's what I did on this. I did many videos using this. This, of course, ran out of memory, so I bought a little dongle to put in the bottom of this, in the USB charging port that would come out to a bigger USB drive, and I transferred the files onto USB drives. So I was using some of the money wired to me to buy USB drives so that I could keep hard copies of all my videos. I do have hard copies of all those videos. The problem is they're not in any type of real good order. The best way they're organized is on my YouTube page, which is set to private, but they show the date and the original descriptions. I did go through and write down the titles and descriptions of each video. I have that in a notebook, but I do not have the hard copies of the videos. I would have to go through and compare them to each YouTube video to figure out which video I'm dealing with, and then name those files in my on my hard disk of USBs, and it's on like 5 different little USBs. Anyhow, that's the story of this Samsung. But then I brought it back to the United States. I had it. I believe I connected it to something here. I think I took the Wi-Fi of the house when I got back to the United States, but I had it in my house. I would open it up and I would do my modcast, and it worked for several months, and then I was watching C-SPAN a lot to keep tabs on the government, keep tabs on this new president, President Trump. I was trying to make the best of it. I felt my duty as a Treasury agent was to still continue to work under this new president in the best of my regard. And I talked about the deepfake virus with the Obamas that I witnessed in Europe, where one face was kind of getting altered and the other face was kind of getting altered, and my theory is it was a deepfake virus either in the television sets hardware themselves or just floating around on the internet that could alter their mouths and voices using facial recognition software that we know intelligence agencies developed to stream enough data to alter things and could possibly radicalize people, right? So I was worried about Donald Trump, this deepfake virus out there. speeches from Donald Trump radicalizing people without him actually saying the words that are being said, like specifically, Mitch, go video Donald Trump at this rally, right? He didn't actually say that to me on my television, but that's a possibility with technology at the state it is now, and with a possible deep fake virus out there running on the software and hardware. So in order to counteract this, and again, I was doing investigations back here in the United States when I got out. I was working with libraries, and to counteract this, I heard that Donald Trump was coming to Pittsburgh, to the Pittsburgh airport, to a hangar at the Pittsburgh airport for a rally. His daughter-in-law was having a rally. So I thought, I'll go take this and video his speech. Then I'll have on my device from Germany an actual hard copy of his speech in case that speech was televised and altered in any way. So it was a way to combat the deepfake virus as part of my duty as a federal treasury agent, right? So I bought a ticket to the rally, or I didn't buy it, it was a free rally, so I registered a ticket for the rally from the library. So I didn't want it on my personal computer. Printed that out, I believe, to take to the rally. He was doing the rally, it turned out, on the same day that Hillary was coming back from a work trip. I don't know if it was from abroad or domestic, I can't remember, probably abroad. She was flying into the Pittsburgh airport at roughly the same time that Trump was doing this rally. So I thought, I'll go out to the rally, I'll watch an hour speech, I'll go pick up Hillary, I'll bring her home. So that was the plan. Took my Samsung, I put my dictator Richard Potato Trump shirt on to go to the rally. I went 20 minutes early, got in line for the rally, and stood in line, and there were people selling t-shirts. It was like kind of a circus, and stood there till, I don't know what it was, 8 o'clock when it was supposed to start. The line didn't move. Of course, they gave out too many tickets because Trump, with his ego, wanted people to just be waiting around outside when he was driving out of there, you know, just to make him look really good. So the line never moved. It got to be the time for him to start his speech. I started my Samsung tablet with most of the memory drained so that I could have an hour of video. Started the Samsung tablet, stood in line for another 5 minutes after the speech was supposed to start, said this isn't moving. Clearly he filled up and those are not letting anybody else in. So then I turned and walked away from the rally with my Samsung playing. I talked a little bit on it. Again, I cleaned most of the stuff off of here, and I never really used it for very much. I might have connected some account, my YouTube account and stuff to it to upload videos. I walked away from the rally. I got in the car. I put the tablet in the passenger seat or the back of the car and left it recording. Drove out of the rally, drove to where the IKEA is in, the heck is that? Anyhow, that shopping complex, is it Robinson? Not Robinson. It might be Robinson Town Center, or the one on the way to the airport. Went to the Quaker Steak and Lube there to eat dinner. So I ate dinner at the Quaker Steak and Lube, met a guy there from Texas, talked about NASCAR. He asked me good places to eat. Sat at the bar and he was sitting next to me. Came back to the car. I think it was still recording. It might have shut off by then. And if it hadn't, I think I shut it off at that point. Drove out to the airport, picked up Hillary, came back to the house. Shortly after recording that video, the tablet stopped working. Or I may have just put it up. I can't remember if I just put it up and left it sit for a while. I think I stopped charging it. I don't know exactly what happened. I think it stopped working. So at some point it did stop working, and then I've tried to charge it several times since. I think the battery icon comes up when I plug it in, but it does not hold a charge. It will not power on. So now that Hillary has her Kindle hooked up and potentially pinging off of our Wi-Fi, I think it's fair that I plug this in for today and tomorrow and see what happens. I'm going to plug it in and leave it right here in front of this Apple computer. I have my Samsung phone here, charging too right now, but I'm about to take that for a walk. So fair game, whatever this connects to. I hope you get good information. I hope we can fight the deepfake video, because if this was geolocating and making waypoints and reference points out there on the network somewhere, we can trace and verify the television broadcast or recording of his rally speech and anybody else that recorded in there, and cross-reference based off of this video in time of me driving the car away from the rally, so on and so forth. So maybe this will bring up new information about Trump. Maybe it'll shed some light on his misdealings, misdeeds, and it's worth a shot. At the very least, I had the best of intentions, even though I was wearing a dictator shirt. I had the best of intentions when I went there. I gave him a fair chance. I made the best of all of his statements, in my mind, for sanity purposes, but also some of it did make some sense what he was doing. Not enough to override his criminal behavior, in my opinion. I did it with the best of intentions so that he didn't have deepfake video viruses out there radicalizing people, and I'm sure that'll be one of his defenses at some point. If he brings a technology and media expert in like me, they would say, oh, people at January 6th were radicalized by a deepfake video, right? That's why I appealed to the Obamas first, but now I'm talking about this. So that's the potential of what we're dealing with technology at the status it's at now. So we'll plug this in and see if anything comes up on the screen. So the battery did flash. It is coming up as charging. So the device is still viable to some degree. It's just not holding charge. It might need a new battery. That might be it. But if the Kindle battery lasts that long, I can't believe this battery wouldn't last that long without going to totally dead and charge. Thought about taking it to U-Break iFix and getting it up and running again, but then I thought it's best to just sit on a bookshelf with that data there and I let it ride. So if I was approached by some government agency or private entity, we could get this up and running again. You could see the video of the day that I went to the Trump rally, and maybe hook it up to the internet and do something with it. I don't know what you would do with it. It's also maybe a valuable piece of camera equipment that somebody might want to own someday. So I'm happy to possibly sell that after we take my accounts connected to it off of it. So let me know. I'm always up for raising money. If you're interested in it, let me know. So thanks for watching, and this will probably be it. I might do a video tomorrow, might not. I want to end by saying I wish you peace, prosperity, and homeostasis.